It's a hot summer at the box office. Ticket sales have already crossed $4 billion. Let's bring in movie man Erik Childress, founder of the Movie Madness podcast. Erik, there are a number of really good movies debuting during the blockbuster summer season. At the moment, it appears there's no stopping Spider-Man. Any chance it could become the highest grossing film ever as it moves closer to $2 billion?
It is very possible, Angie. I wouldn't call it just yet since we are still less than 2 weeks into its run, but what a 2-week run. Spider-Man Brand New Day had the third highest second weekend ever with $144.2 million, just $5 million behind Star Wars The Force Awakens, which is the all-time champ in North America for a second weekend. Though you can bet that Sony is going to stretch this run out through the summer to chase that record, and Brand New Day has already mustered up enough dough to get into the top 10 global releases of all time with over 1.7 million headed into this weekend. Now, not to be outdone, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is headed towards $500 million domestic this weekend and could find itself ultimately with enough to be one of the top 15 global releases ever and passing Deadpool and Wolverine to become the highest grossing R-rated film of all time.
August is turning into a busy month with a number of releases. What films are likely to break into the top 10 this weekend?
Well, none are expected to take number one, but the closest competitor will likely be The End of Oak Street, with Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor battling dinosaurs when their neighborhood is somehow connected with prehistoric times. The film has been delayed for some time after finishing principal photography back in 2024. But stay tuned, because there is certainly more to say about it. Now, also opening for families is Paw Patrol, the Dino Movie. The animated puppies began their cinematic run in the second summer of the pandemic, and then returned in 2023 with a $22.7 million start, $65 million domestic, and over $141 million worldwide. Animated films in August have never turned into blockbusters with kids returning to school, but I expect we will again see some respectable numbers for this. There is also The Brink of War, with Jeff Daniels as Ronald Reagan and Gerald Harris as Mikhail Gorbachev, in the late years of the Cold War negotiating a nuclear deal. The history-scrubbing release of Reagan with Dennis Quaid a few years ago ended up making over $30 million. Angel had some success with Young Washington this summer. I don't think you will see this president do as well, but it should make it onto the list this week.
Here's a look at The End of Oak Street coming out this weekend.
I think that our neighborhood, our house, our whole street has moved.
How the hell is that even possible?
This film is your recommendation for the week.
Yeah, sorry to bury the lead, Angie, but The End of Oak Street is absolutely my recommendation this week. As mentioned, this is Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor trying to keep their family safe from rampaging dinosaurs. From the opening credits, one can see that the film is very Amblin-coded. In other words, precisely the kind of movie that Steven Spielberg's production company was releasing in the 1980s. And it is practically paying homage to the films of Spielberg. Most obviously Jurassic Park, but also the works of legendary genre filmmakers of that era like Joe Dante and Robert Zemeckis. The film is fun, it moves, Hathaway and McGregor are both terrific in it, and unlike any of the recent Jurassic World pictures, it still has the ability to surprise and even be a little nasty in its dino attacks. I have some suspicions as to why the film was delayed so long, possibly snipped of some lingering thematic elements of belief and hope to strip it down to the bare dino essentials, but it still works. The film is from director David Robert Mitchell, who most known for his terrific horror film It Follows from 2014. It's nice to see that genre fans should have another film of his to continue talking about. The End of Oak Street is one of the great surprises of the summer.
Thanks, Erik.
Thank you, Angie.